Ayy, give me the chip, I need the championship. Wait, we got a dream, next to the team, yeah, we can handle it. Wait, soon as I go and I step in arenas, they call me the champ. They know what it is, know what I do, know who I am, who don't understand. Yeah, that's overdue. My trophy say that's overdue. My ring, finna be immortalized. Yeah, they know it's true. They couldn't walk a mile.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Bucks-We Sports Podcast. This is our Friday after, the morning after recap show, sponsored by Austin Brinkley, North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. So we want to give a shout out to our sponsor here. Like I said, life can be unpredictable, but your peace of mind shouldn't be, whether it's auto, home, life, or renter's insurance. Austin Brinkley is here to provide you a personalized coverage that fits your family's needs. Local, trusted, dedicated to the community, affordable protection with hometown service, backed by the strength of North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, serving our community with care, commitment, and reliability. Give Austin a call at 910-290-4250 and see what he can do for you and your family. So once again, we want to appreciate Austin Brinkley, North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, for sponsoring this podcast. Once again, y'all, welcome. It's our Friday after show. I know y'all see a familiar face up here joining me this morning. I got Coach Brandon Maynard of the Union Spartans joining me today. We're going to talk a little bit about Union's season so far. So I appreciate him joining me. Coach, how you doing?
Good morning, everybody. Doing good, man. We just been doing some film study this weekend after Friday night, getting ready for next week. We took a L this Friday, but you know, got to get back to it. Next day, next game, it's time to move on. It's kind of what our mindsets are this season. Our guys have hit that turning point. This season, still got a big sophomore class and a few juniors and a few seniors. Freshmen look promising, but yeah, man, season so far looks, to me, I think we're headed in the right direction. First game we got Spring Creek 38-0, and we prepared and we went out and did our thing, and then we went on the road this Friday and we faced Beargrass, and we prepared for 2 weeks for them because we had a bye week the second week. So it just didn't turn out how we felt like it should turn out, and our guys, after the game, there was no heads hung, there was none of that. It was a few tears, but that right there lets us know that they care. You know, um, but there was no heads hung. I mean, the guys are ready to get back to work, get ready for Camp Lejeune this Friday, and you could tell that these players are starting to be more vocal at their games, during the game, at practices. So I mean, that defeatist attitude that Union had a couple years ago, it's starting to leave, or almost all gone. Um, like I said, man, I'm blessed to be a part of a coaching staff with three guys that's got over 30 years apiece of coaching. So I'm sitting there just soaking and absorbing everything I can. I got Coach Davison mentoring me on defense. Um, I know Lakewood guys know him very well. He was at Lakewood for such a long time, and there's a science behind his madness, and that man is very detailed in his defense and how he breaks down film, and so that's pretty much what I've been doing all weekend, is breaking down film and getting ready for Friday night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, look, man. No, we've talked about it up here. A ton of times. Like I said, we definitely been rooting for Union. We can see the difference. We talked about it after the jamboree. Just like you said, you can really see that old culture, that like you said, that culture of defeat, leaving out the building, and just a different feel, a different energy around the program. So we, like I said, we speak highly of you guys. We love the work. We can definitely see the work that the coaching staff have done and that the kids have done themselves. So, and all that's starting to really shine through, and definitely room for the Union Spartans up here on Busby Sports Podcast. And like I said, yes, definitely sad to see that result Friday night. But like I said, it's all a part of the process. And like I said, you dwell on it for a little while, bus ride home, and get ready to go to work the next day. So, like I said, we'll definitely be locking in with you guys in the future. I know, like I said, you got Lejeune coming up this week, so we'll be talking about that this week on our Wednesday night show. But like I said, man, any other comments so far as y'all Spartans go?
Yeah, man. Like I said, the coaching staff, man. I can't thank them enough, man. I'm blessed to be in this position, man. Coach O's giving me this opportunity the last 2 weeks of last season, and then I helped them with girls basketball as well, and just being able to be around guys, that's been in this business for like 3 decades. You know what I mean? And finally getting my foot in the door and getting a chance to be not just be a coach, but be a mentor, be that role model, be that you know. It's like Brandon Simmons said. I seen Brandon Simmons post something on Facebook. Anybody can be a coach, but can you teach? Can you teach football? Can you put life lessons into football? And that's what Coach Oates does, man. And that whole culture that he's building there, I'm just blessed to be a part of it, man. And don't sleep on those Spartans, man. We're still growing. We're still we're still getting to where we need to be. And I urge everyone in the community of Sampson County that has a child or a cousin or nephew, shoot, I don't care if you're a Spartan fan or not. Just come out to the game and see the work that my guys have put in, and just see the whole atmosphere of these young men and what they do for us. Because I mean, us coaches are not just Monday through Friday, man. We're Monday through Sunday. We're film watching, we're preparing, we're game planning, practice planning, trying to put these guys in the best position to go out there and put on a great performance for the fans. And shout out to the Spartan cheerleaders. I know they don't get no love, but
Oh yeah,
they took that bus ride to Beargrass too and cheer for us. And they're always loud and proud and had that Spartan pride. And I'm like I said, man, I'm blessed to be a part of this whole journey with Union and the growing culture of bringing back, not rolling over. Because Friday night, Union of Old would have rolled over, and good as well as I do, it'd have been
yeah.
60-70-0. We were down 30-8, and then we got an interception and scored on that turnover, and then we got a fumble and scored on that turnover, and then right back in the game, and then and then we had some mental mistakes, and that's where it went wrong. So, but
Still,
we didn't stop fighting.
oh yeah. See,
I'm sure
that's what you like to see right there.
I'm sure they woke up Saturday morning knowing they played the Spartans because there was some hard hitting out there. So,
Oh, yeah.
but
That's what we like to hear.
as far as the Spartans, man, I appreciate you having me on, and I'm a big Sampson County guy, so always good luck to the Lakewood Leopards, good luck to Midway, good luck to Clinton, Hobden, all our guys here in Sampson County every Friday night. We rooting for y'all as well, man. Until we play y'all, of course. Every time I see Coach Elliott, man, I'm just like, hey, man, where's your flops at? Because I don't see him in flops no more. But
Oh yeah.
but good luck to all the Sampson County schools that's coming Friday as well, man. We're rooting for you. And Chris, always, man, it's always love.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate you having me on, and good luck to the podcast. I hope you get some more sponsors. If you out there and you own a business, sponsor this man. He is trying. He is. I mean, what he's doing, getting these guys exposure and just representing Sampson County. If you have a business in Sampson County, I mean, just get that sponsorship to him. He's doing great things up here.
Hey man, Coach, definitely appreciate you taking the time. Appreciate you saying that. And like I said, man, you always a part. You always this Buck Sweet Sport family, man. You always a part of this man, we've been started this thing. It really grew into something bigger than I think anybody even thought it would be, man. And I said definitely always owe you guys for that. And like I said, we always support Sanford County, Sanford County strong. So definitely looking forward to what Union Spartans continue to do. Definitely gonna be room for y'all. Continue to talk y'all up, talk y'all kids up. But yeah, man, just appreciate you taking the time and appreciate all the kind words, man. Really appreciate that, though.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We'll see y'all later.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. All right. Once again, man, that was Union Spartan coach Brandon Maynard joining us, giving us an update on those Union Spartans. Like I said, they'll be in action this week. This week against Camp Lejeune. So, Union Spartans or any Santa County fans looking out, definitely go check the new look Spartans out, man. They're doing that coaching staff is doing great things with those kids over there. Go continue to run down through our Friday night scoreboard. Like always, feel free to comment any questions, any observations you guys have. Um, shout out your school, shout out your players. Somebody's supposed to, all right. But yeah, we're gonna keep this thing moving. So running down the scoreboard for Friday night. Starting out, we had Dixon defeating Hopton 47-35. East Duplin in a barn burner with Richlands winning 14-7 in overtime. St. Paul's defeated Red Springs 28-0. Green Central 30 over winning over Wilson Prep 30-8. Kinston defeated North Lenoir 42-7. Midway defeated Lakewood and Santa County rivalry game 55-31. Wallace Rose Hill defeated Clinton 22-18. Wattville defeated East Bladen 38-14. New Bern, West Craven, Craven County rivalry game. New Bern winning that one 48-27. Like we just talked about, Union Spartans went up to Beargrass. Fortunately, Beargrass won 56-24. Big time game down there in Bennettsville, South Carolina. Gray Collegiate defeated Marlboro County 27-14. West Bladen, shout out to West Bladen. We talked about them this past week. A team that's really just like Union, really you can tell there's a culture change out there. Kids are playing really hard, giving their all, and that they got rewarded this Friday night with their first win of the season, defeating West Columbus 38-28. South Brunswick defeated Trash 23-22. 71st defeated Pine Forest 42-0. Roseville defeated Richmond 38-20 in a matchup of juggernauts in the East. Big time Tarboro, those Tarboro Vikings looking strong, looking really strong. Defeating Havelock 35-7, and Cleveland defeated Northern Nash 52-28. And that brings us to our Buckley Sports games of the week. Games of the week were Southern Nash and James Keenan, Hoggard and Clayton. And the results for those games, Southern Nash defeated James Keenan in what was a barn burner, man. A really good game. Watch that one. 44-42. And Hoggard really flexed their muscles, man. Really sent a big time message that they are one of the best teams in the state. Defeating a good Clayton team 38-14. But that was our rundown of our featured games for the week. Like I said, any of those games stand out to anyone, let me know. Any comments. Like I said, we're live here on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So I'm definitely checking the comments for making sure I don't miss anybody. Let me give a shout out to Ryan Sutherland, East Duplin broadcast team, always a big time supporter of the podcast. Appreciate you listening. And that was a sound like that was a really tough, really grinded out type of game. Friday night against Richlands going into overtime like that. Shout out to Joshua Ryan Bleeger. He's a Pender County guy. They were off this week, but appreciate you commenting. Shout out David Holmes. David Holmes, man, went to school with David, man. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you listening in, man. real quick, man. Just kind of give my rundown of the games of the week. That James Keenan Southern Nash game, man. James Keenan has nothing to hang their heads about Friday night, man. Really controlled that game from the start to right there towards the end of the going into the fourth quarter, man. You could kind of tell Southern Nash's depth and size kind of start to wear. Both teams run a very physical type of offense. So it was a lot of 3 yard clouds. I mean, they're right there playing in a phone booth, man. They're both teams run heavy style, and there was a lot of contact. You could just tell later in the game, man. James Keenan kind of started to wear down more guys. I would assume more guys on James Keenan going both ways than a 6A school in Southern Nash. So, and I don't like to use that excuse when smaller schools and bigger schools play because, like I said, it's going to be 11 on the field at one time. I mean, talent is talent. You know, just because a school's bigger doesn't mean they're better than you. But so like I said, Southern Nash is a pretty solid football program, a lot of depth, and like I said, that physical nature you can really tell later in the game, like tackles that guys were making in the first quarter became 10 times more difficult there in the fourth, and Southern Nash had some really good size, some really good size running backs. So, but James Keenan really was right there with him. The turning point in the game for me, I could tell right there, it was a special teams kind of a little special team. We talk about how important special teams is all the time. A special teams kind of mishap there, bad snap, which led to the quarterback trying to throw the ball on the run. Ended up being an interception, and that's where Southern Nash was able to capitalize and really start to close the gap. And also one of the biggest differences down the line was who was converting the 2 point conversion attempts. James Keenan was getting theirs, and Southern Nash was getting theirs. So that ultimately, losing the 44-42 was a difference in the game for me. But got to give a big shout out to Jeremiah Hall, running back for James Keenan. He had a huge game. Normally, when I do these Bucks We Sports games of the week, I normally give my player awards. Player of the game, Trench Warrior of the week to the team that to the winning team. But I'm really on the fence about this one, man, because I feel like Jeremiah had an amazing game, and I'm waiting to see. I'm gonna go back and watch it again, but I want to, and also wait to see when the stats get posted. I want to see, but I may he may be I may have to break my rule and give it to the team, one of the guys on the team that lost, because he really had a great game. And shout out to C.J. Hill. Uh, he had a great game, big time kickoff return, just speed on speed. Excuse me 1 second, man. For some reason, dog been quiet all morning. Now he want to come in here and start playing with his toys. Hold on 1 second. It's like they knew I was recording. But yeah. So great. Let's say nothing to hang their head about. James Keenan, he had an awesome performance. Shout out Big Cito. Cito had a big time kickoff return. I thought that was the game right there, man. But it was just a little bit too much time on the clock for Southern Nash to come back and ultimately score the touchdown that actually won, the points that won the game. But a lot of fighting James Keenan, man. They reinforced my opinion that they're going to be one of the top 3A teams in the East. Definitely will not be surprised to see them playing on state championship weekend. They're the real deal. Shout out to them, man. And my other game of the week, Hoggard hosting Clayton down there in Wilmington. And Hoggard really flexed their muscles, man. I got to go back and watch the full game. I caught just a little bit glimpses of the first half, but from what I saw, man, Hogger's defense really set the tone early, and it kind of just it just after those first couple drives, you could kind of feel you know energy wise, momentum wise, they had nothing for them, man. They did a great job containing Clayton's really outstanding quarterback, NC State commit. Yeah, really held him down. But yeah, they definitely showed if anybody's doubting or thinking that they got lucky in that game against Richmond, or that they're definitely one of, they send a message, man, that they're one of they're going to be one of the best teams in the on the eastern side of North Carolina, man. They once again another team that would not surprise me to see them playing state championship weekend the way they're going right now. So if they keep that same drive, motivation, especially on the defensive side of the ball, yeah, it's going to be something special. But let me swing to the comments real quick. I see you, our old buddy, Mr. Charles Williams out there at St. Paul's. Shout out to Mr. Charles Williams, man. St. Paul's Bulldogs in the building. Yeah. he said St. Paul's Bulldogs in here. That's why he barking. He talking about my dog. Shout out to Jeff Dale, Penn Patriots, present this morning, getting ready for our big rivalry game this week. That's right. Y'all got Wallace this week, man, and I'll talk about the Clay and Wallace game in a little bit, man. That's of course, that's the school I represent, and definitely got some comments on that game. I'll try to keep it as clean as possible, man. Once again, shout out to Charles, man. And that St. Paul's Red Springs game, from what I understand, was called in the second quarter. Guess it was just some extracurricular activity. Guess it was getting a little bit too chippy. If Charles, if you can give me some more details, man, I appreciate it. Because like I said, I was checking updates from the Robeson, Chris Styles from the Robeson on Twitter. Normally gives score updates, and I was checking score updates, and I hadn't saw that. So don't know the story behind it. I know that game is normally really, like I said, there's a lot of feelings in that game. It gets chippy. I know a couple times they've had issues, as far as players getting into it. But yeah, if you give me some details, man, I appreciate it. But real quick, let me run through seeing something that stands out to me. Well, I'll talk about the Midway Lakewood. Oh man, I'll leave that one to y'all, man. I ain't gonna say that. I know some good people over there at Red Springs, so I ain't gonna promote that, man. But real quick, I'll talk about the Midway Lakewood game, man. It kind of went how we were talking about on the show Wednesday. We felt like Midway's gonna put up points. Like I said, Midway has a very explosive offense, solid offensive line, good quarterback, uh, two really great running backs. Like I said, they're dealing with a full deck on the offensive side of the ball, so they're gonna score points. The question is, we all like I said, like we talked about Wednesday, would Lakewood be able to keep up with them? And for the first half, Lakewood did a pretty good job. And as you saw, Midway kind of pulled away there in the second half. So kind of went basically how he wanted. But man, shout out to Midway, continuing to really show some stuff. Like I said, man, if Midway can stay healthy, which was their biggest issue last season, if they can stay healthy, I mean, that's a team that you really can you can't turn a blind eye to that, man. They definitely got a lot of talent over there in Spivey's corner. So shout out to them. And if I had to redo some of my preseason predictions, man, in all honesty, like I said, I still got James Keenan, top notch, top dog in the Swan Valley, but I definitely would put Midway above Wallace right now, and I know that probably won't sit too well with some of the folks down there in Duplin County, but based off what I've seen, so far, yeah, I feel like I feel like if you can't if they stay healthy, man, that's they're a team that can make some noise right there. Like I said, I still got James Keaton winning that conference, but yeah, definitely don't definitely paying attention to the Raiders, man. They got a solid team. They just gotta tighten up some things defensively because you don't want to keep on giving up 30 a game. I mean, like I said, as long as you're scoring 50 plus, and it doesn't matter. But you still want to you're gonna as the season progresses, especially in the playoffs, you're gonna run into some more talented teams, and you definitely want to tighten up some things defensively. Let me see, Charles. What Charles had to say. So what it sounds like was some guys got too many injuries for Red Springs, or had a couple of bad injuries for Red Springs, and caused them to want to call the game. Well, like I said, Mr. Charles, you were there, so you know better than me. But I mean, if that's what it was. Now Havelock's having a down year. And I said I'll put the comment on the screen so everyone can see what I'm talking. I got Charles in the comments talking. He was just saying, speaking on Havelock's loss to Tarboro, and I believe they're 0-3 now. Well, they lost to. I mean, if you look at the teams they played, they played West Craven, they played New Bern, they played Tarboro. Um, like I said, it's just a down Havelock team, man. They lost a lot of talent to graduation, and they're kind of building up. But you could definitely tell it's not your traditional Havelock squad. Yeah, like I said, they play some tough competition though, but they'll probably get it together towards when they once they get into conference play. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out to Ferris Richard Johnson. He was close. We felt like it was going to be a high scoring game, man. Like I said, uh, Midway's gonna put up points, and unfortunately their defense gonna give them a couple points. That's why I said, man, they got to tighten that up a little bit, man. The offense is but like I said, when you're scoring 50 points a game, uh, it don't. I guess it's all you give your defense you give your defense some leadway, I guess. But once again, man, shout out to Midway, man. They're doing their thing. Yes, sir. Like I said, man, um, Tanner started as a sophomore last year, and you could tell you could see the growth from sophomore year to junior season. He's definitely one to watch, man. Dual threat through the air, through the ground. Yeah, he's definitely a talented quarterback. And like I said, man, Midway on the offensive side of the ball, man, they got some weapons. They got some weapons. I was watching one of the highlights, Nate True Miles kickoff return, and G blew through a huge block for him. Highlight stuff. I'll have to see if I can find that again and repost that on the page. But yeah, definitely shout out Midway, man. They doing their thing. We'll speak on that Wallace Clinton game real quick. And like I said, not no disrespect to my Wallace people, but you could tell that's not your typical Wallace Rose Hill football team, man. They're still figuring some things out, but like I said, I've seen some good. Like I said, I'm a Clinton fan, man. I've seen some good Wallace teams, and right now they're not really they got some pieces. They got some you get number one in the backfield, Bubba. He's a dog, man. Quarterback Matthew Wells, stud. Number 57 on that defensive line. Number 11 at linebacker. They got some guys, but it just. And I'm pretty sure some Wallace fans agree with me. It's just it hasn't looked like your typical Wallace team normally gets started out. But like I said, it's still some. We're only 3 games into the season, so there's some time for improvement on that side. But yeah, not your typical Wallace team. So watching the game Friday night, um, one of the things that just kind of annoyed me, especially later, just Clinton's inability to stop the run. That's going to be an issue, especially looking at the teams that we're going to be playing in the coming weeks. I mean, we got East Bladen coming up this Friday night. If you have a tough time tackling, you're not gonna like meeting Mr. Deshaun Campbell. I mean, we got Pender in conference. We got Whiteville coming up still. Like I said, we got Pender in conference who runs the ball well. East Duplin. So yeah, they're going to have to figure some things out on the defensive side of the ball. Um, Offensively, like I said, I like what I seen. I had to shout out our freshman wide receiver, Zaire Strickland. I talked about him during the summer. I talked about him preseason. I said, you know, a lot of people outside of Sanford County may not know who he is right now, but they're going to find out. They're definitely going to find out. And he's really starting to get, like I said, freshman out there. He don't look like a freshman, man. He's definitely starting to get more comfortable. He can, man, because he's definitely he started. Um, so just one thing I really later in the game, man. Like I said, we had trouble stopping the run the entire game. And when Wallace went to that unbalanced, like it was like an unbalanced, like a wildcat look, and we just refused to adjust to it. And right there, that's not on your players. That's on the coaching staff. You got to be able to have that ability to make in game adjustments. Um, it's running. Everybody knows running the ball like that. It's a numbers game. If they're over, if they got all those guys on the line and you're still trying to attack it with your base defense with four guys. It's a numbers game, man. There's more blockers than you have, defenders at that point. At that point of attack, and we were wondering why we're getting gashed. And like I said, it just we adjusted too late, and like I said, up 18-6, up 18-6. We're in control of that game, and you got to put that one away, man. I just feel like that's one that we really let slip away. But that's just my 2 cents on that Wallace Clinton game. That's, like I say, a heartbreaker, man. Losing to a rival, and you feel like you really should have won that game, but it is what it is. And like I said, I'll keep it clean. I was a lot more animated Friday night afterwards, but I said, yeah, I'm working on that. I'm working on kind of holding my tongue a little bit. 'Cause sometimes when you're a little bit too blunt and too real, you kind of rub people the wrong way. And it is funny though. All those people that were getting on me after the whole Jamboree thing, ain't none of them showing up in the comments to offer explanations now. It's funny how that works, but it is what it is. But let me go to the comments real quick. Mr. Charles over here having a ball. Let me go back up. Ferris Johnson said, going back to Jeremiah Blue, said, G is special, great kid. Yes, sir. Let's see. Charles Moon said, once we check out some JV players, St. Paul's freshman quarterback, Andrew Laurie, said he's going to be the starting quarterback for Washington. They said, yeah, I'll give him, hey, man, if you got some videos or anything like that, man, send them to me. I'll check them out. So he's still not changing his opinion on that St. Paul's and Sunday first game and say, hey, look, hey, we ready for it, man. That's when that happens, that's probably gonna be our game of the week. So we definitely gonna remind you. We gonna remind you what you told us now. Like I said, y'all, any comments, any observations y'all have from Friday night? Let me go over here to the Twitter to make sure everything's good. So, what happened now? Yeah, what did happen now? People are delusional. This game at Clinton. Are you asking is the game at Clinton this week or is it at East Bladen? Let me pull up. Thought I had the schedule up here. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, that game's gonna be at East Bladen. That's a, speaking from experience, man. That's a tough place to that's a tough place to play a football game. But if you're traveling to if you're a Clinton fan traveling to East Bladen this week, man, definitely if you want a good pregame meal. Well, I don't. It's been years since I've been there, man. But I know what's it, Giorgio's, the Italian spot right there near the school. Yeah, that was always the go-to spot before the game. So yeah, it's at East Bladen. Yeah. Yeah, Charles. Yeah, definitely. Send me those highlights, man. I'll definitely check them out. And that goes for anybody, man. I know we got certain teams that we talk about. Majority of the time, normally I try to keep it to Sanford County, Bladen County, Duplin County, Pennant County area. But if it's a kid, Eastern North Carolina that's doing their thing, yeah, definitely. Send me, give me the information, man. We'll definitely talk about them. Yeah, shout out the young man from freshman from Smithfield Selma. I posted on the page last night, man. Let me pull up his name real quick. Jabias Bradshaw from Smithfield Selma, another good looking freshman, man. So like I said, if you got some kid, you got a player in Europe that you want to want us to check out, man. Definitely send me some tape. Definitely check them out. Hey Charles, man. Hey, look, my players of the week, man. That goes from my game of the week. So whenever we got that St. Paul's and 71st game as the game of the week, and they show out, and they'll definitely be mentioned. But yeah, number 10's been putting up some crazy numbers, and I know about Parasol too. So y'all, like I said, man, St. Paul's got a lot of talent out there, yo. That's why I picked y'all to win the 5A East. Any more comments? Any other games that stood out to y'all, man? Let me know. Was one more I wanted to speak on, man. Well, let me give a shout. Let me give a shout out to Whiteville, man. I know Whiteville was coming off a tough loss, and they really took it to East Bladen, man. I thought that would be I thought that'd be a closer game than what it was, but shout out to Whiteville, man. We got them coming up soon, so that's gonna be a tough one. And I believe we got to play them at Legion, so yeah, definitely gonna be a tough one. But shout out to Whiteville, man. Like I said, Coach Price, some big turnover from last season, but he still got those boys playing, man. So shout out to them. Latoya Stevens. Hey, I spoke on James Keenan in a Southern Nash game a little bit earlier, but like I said, I'll just rehash my thoughts. But like I said, James Keenan has nothing to be ashamed of, and the boys played a hell of a game. Um, I just think, like I said, I think they just got a little bit tired there at the end. They're going against a bigger school, uh, more depth, and both teams play a very physical style of offense. So um, definitely, yeah, just like I said, I think they just kind of got wore out the end, but nothing to be ashamed of, man. The boys played a hell of a game. I talked about Jeremiah Hall. Jeremiah Hall had, I mean, just monster game. Cito, CJ Hill, the entire team, man. Like I said, James Keenan, they're definitely a team to watch, man. In that game this Friday, James Keenan and East Duplin, that's gonna be a big one. That's gonna be a big one that I may not be able to ignore. I know I tried not to. I try to spread the love as far as our games of the week goes, and I know James Keenan just got featured last week, but it's gonna be really tough. And I got to go and look at some of the other games that's going on this week. It's gonna be really tough to not have that game featured because that's gonna be a big one. James Keenan and East Duke, that should be a really good game. Real quick, man, shout out to one of our co-hosts, Anthony Goodman. He's asking for everyone's prayers, man. He's he's there in the hospital with his grandmother. So just asking y'all to anybody listening in, man, keep Coach Goodman in your prayers. Um, Definitely praying for you, dog. Like I said, don't worry about missing this show, man. We good, man. You handle that, man. You be there with your family. It's all good. But definitely praying for you, brother. Um, let's see, man. Shout out Sean Paul. We got Sean Paul in the comments. Yeah. Hey, hey, Charles, man. Charles, y'all gonna find out, man. Hey, look, don't let that Terry Sanford game. Don't let that look. I'm telling you, man. 71st is a different animal. That's gonna be one to watch, man. But hey, Charles is confident though, man. So I can't hate on him for that, man. Man, he representing his tribe, man, his school. So I can't hate on him, man. But yeah, 71st is tough, man. He said we know exactly what we get into. Hey, that's gonna be a real interesting game, man. It's real interesting. But appreciate everyone's comments. Appreciate Latoya, Steve for the comment. But like I said, James Keenan, nothing to hang y'all heads about. Uh, Definitely, like I said before, man, wouldn't be surprised if to see them represent the 3A Eastern State Championship this year. That team is good. As long as they got, like I said, they stay healthy, man. That team's good. They play a really physical style of football. Very tenacious on the defensive side of the ball. Solid coaching, so they're definitely going to be one to be reckoned with. And same thing like these other two. Like I said, I see y'all going in the comments, man. Hey, I got 71st representing the 6A East. I got St. Paul's representing the 5A East. So the fact that that conference is going to send, I believe, has the chance to send two teams to state championship games in their respective classification, just goes to show how that conference is not, nothing to play with, man. But that's gonna be a good game, man. When that game happens, that's definitely gonna be all eyes on that one, man. Because both teams are loaded with talent, but uh, any more comments, man? If not, man, I'm gonna start kind of closing things out. Like I said, we'll be back up here. We'll be back up here Wednesday night, same time, 7 o'clock, for our week 4 recap show. Like, hey, man, like I told y'all, season's flying by. I seem like it's just yesterday we just started talking about this, and here we are, 2 weeks away from the middle point of the regular season. So it's flying by. Like I said, man, if you're a parent and you got a senior athlete, out there playing, man, just man enjoy it, take it all in. If you're a senior football player, just take football player, cheerleader, band member, whatever, man, take it all in. Because I mean, like I said, this thing flies by. It flies by so fast. Like I mean, it's 1 minute is August, next minute we're in the first week of December, and we're talking about state championship matchups and stuff. So just sit back and enjoy it, man. Take it all in. Don't dwell so much on the negative, the bad stuff. Like you said, there's gonna be losses, but just gotta keep it moving, man. That same type of mentality, like Coach Manning was talking about. So appreciate everyone listening. As you can see, man, it is football Sunday. So if y'all definitely check out the football games this afternoon, man. Shout out my Packers. Go back, Pack, go. Should be a great Sunday. Looking forward to another great week of high school football. We'll be back, like I said, Wednesday nights, 7 o'clock. So hope y'all lock in with us. And we'll be back for our recap show. It'll be back on Saturday next week. I just had some things going on yesterday, so I had to move some things around. But appreciate y'all listening. Once again, man, we got to give a shout out to our sponsor. That's Austin Brinkley, North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Said contact Austin at 910-290-4250. Said he's can help you out. Like I say, he offers free consultations. He just trying to figure out the best plan for you, your situation, your family. Like I said, that's local right there in Duplin County. So if you're in the Duplin County area, Safety County, Bladen County, like I said, supports the podcast. So we want to try to support him. If you enjoy Buckley Sports Podcast and you're in need some changes in your insurance policies, man, give Austin a call. And once again, we want to appreciate him for sponsoring this podcast. So go ahead and start to close things out, man. Like I said, I see Charles and Sean still going at it in the conversation, man. St. Paul's St. Paul when that week comes up, man, it's definitely gonna be interesting. But shout out to, man, like I said, I appreciate you guys commenting and being involved, and appreciate everyone that listened in. Big shout out once again to Coach Brandon Maynard for joining us this morning, giving us an update on Union. Shout out to Anthony Goodman, Coach Goodman. Definitely praying for you and your family. Shout out to Anthony Berry down there in South Carolina. Couldn't join us this morning, but I'm sure he'll be back Wednesday, and probably want to talk about that Marlboro County game. But yeah, they still going in. But once again, man, this is Chris Harris, man, BuzzFeed Sports Podcast, signing off. I'll see you guys Wednesday night, 7 o'clock.